My dear students, welcome back to our channel. Students, in this video I am explaining Telangana Intermediate Second Year. Subject Economics. Part A. Long questions, 10 marks. Let's start quick revision. First important question is 1. Analyze critically the characteristics of developing economies with special reference to India. Characteristics of developing economies with special reference to India. Developing economies are countries that are not yet fully developed but are growing and improving over time. India is a classic example of a developing economy. Let's explore the main characteristics of developing economies with examples focusing on India. 1. Low per capita income. In developing countries, the average income of people is low. In India, many people still live below the poverty line and earn less than the global average. For example, a large section of the Indian population works in agriculture, where incomes are often low. 2. High population growth. Developing economies like India often have high population growth. This leads to increased pressure on resources like food, water, and jobs. India's population is over 1.4 billion, and this rapid growth can make it difficult to provide quality services to everyone. 3. Dependence on agriculture. In many developing economies, agriculture is a major source of employment. India's economy is still largely dependent on farming, although services and industries are growing. For example, millions of people in rural India rely on farming for their livelihood. 4. Unemployment and underemployment. Many people in developing economies face unemployment or underemployment, where they work in jobs that do not use their skills fully. In India, although many people are employed, many work in informal sectors with low wages and job insecurity. 5. Low levels of industrialization. Developing economies often have fewer factories and industries compared to developed nations. India has a growing industrial sector, but it still lags behind countries like the USA and Germany in terms of industrial output. 6. Inequality. In many developing countries, including India, there is a large gap between the rich and the poor. Wealth and resources are not distributed equally, which creates economic inequality. For example, urban areas in India are much wealthier than rural areas. In summary, developing economies like India face challenges such as low income, high population growth, and inequality, but they are making progress with efforts to improve education, infrastructure, and industries. Next important question is 2. Describe the causes for low productivity in agriculture. Causes for low productivity in agriculture. Agriculture is an important part of India's economy, but its productivity, the amount of crops produced per unit of land or effort, is often low. There are several reasons for this. Let's look at some of the main causes in simple words. 1. Dependence on traditional farming methods. Many Indian farmers still use old farming methods, such as manual plowing and sowing, which are slow and less efficient. This reduces the overall productivity of the land. For example, in many rural areas, farmers continue to rely on bullocks for plowing instead of using modern machines. 2. Limited access to modern technology. Many farmers in India do not have access to modern farming tools, machinery, and techniques. Without the latest technology, such as tractors, seed drills, or advanced irrigation systems, it becomes difficult to increase crop yields. For instance, the lack of proper irrigation methods can lead to water wastage, affecting crop growth. 3. Inadequate irrigation facilities. A large part of India's agriculture depends on rainfall, which can be unpredictable. In areas where there is no proper irrigation system, crops may fail during droughts, leading to lower productivity. For example, farmers in dry areas like Rajasthan face difficulties due to lack of irrigation. 4. Poor soil quality. Over time, continuous farming without proper soil management can degrade soil quality. Poor soil leads to lower crop yields. Many farmers in India do not use enough fertilizers or organic farming methods to keep the soil healthy, affecting productivity. 5. Small land holdings. Most Indian farmers own very small pieces of land, making it difficult for them to invest in better equipment or modern techniques. Small land holdings result in low-scale production, which is not enough to meet the demands of a growing population. 6. Lack of proper training and education. Many farmers lack knowledge about modern farming practices. Without proper education or training in new agricultural techniques, they may continue using outdated methods that reduce productivity. For example, farmers may not know the right time to plant or harvest crops. In conclusion, low productivity in Indian agriculture is caused by factors like old farming methods, lack of technology, poor irrigation, soil problems, small land holdings, and insufficient knowledge. Addressing these issues can help improve agricultural productivity in India. Next important question is 3. Explain the remedial measures of poverty and unemployment in India. Remedial measures of poverty and unemployment in India. Poverty and unemployment are two major problems in India, but several measures can help improve the situation. Let's look at some of the key solutions in simple words. 1. Promoting skill development and education. A major reason for unemployment in India is a lack of skills. Many people are not trained for the jobs available. To tackle this, the government has launched programs like Skill India and Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana to train young people in different skills, such as carpentry, plumbing, and computer programming. By learning new skills, people can find better jobs and improve their income. 2. Encouraging small and medium enterprises, SMEs. Small businesses play an important role in providing jobs. The government has introduced schemes like Make in India and Startup India to support new businesses and entrepreneurs. These programs offer financial help and ease in setting up businesses. For example, if a young entrepreneur starts a small factory, it can create jobs for many local people. 3. Expanding rural employment. In India, many poor people live in villages where jobs are limited. The government's MNREGA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, aims to provide 100 days of guaranteed employment every year to rural families. This helps people earn a livelihood through manual work like building roads, planting trees, and working on other community projects. 4. Providing social security and welfare schemes. The government has launched several welfare schemes to help the poor. For instance, the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana provides financial services to the poor, and PMA, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, helps provide affordable housing to low-income families. These schemes improve the standard of living and reduce poverty. 5. Improving infrastructure. Building better roads, schools, hospitals, and electricity connections in rural and urban areas can create more job opportunities. For example, the construction of new highways and metro projects generates thousands of jobs in the construction sector. In conclusion, addressing poverty and unemployment in India requires a combination of education, skill development, support for small businesses, and rural job schemes. With these measures, the government is working to create more opportunities for people to earn a better living. Next important question is 4. Examine the causes for inequalities in the distribution of income and wealth. Unit 3. Causes for inequalities in the distribution of income and wealth. Income and wealth inequality refers to the unequal distribution of money and assets among people. In India, there are significant differences in income and wealth, with some people being very rich while many others remain poor. Let's look at the main causes of these inequalities in simple words. 1. Differences in education and skills. Education plays a key role in determining how much a person can earn. People with higher education or specialized skills often get high-paying jobs, while those with lower education or skills earn less. For example, a software engineer with a degree from a top university can earn much more than a person working as a manual laborer with limited education. 2. Access to resources. People from wealthy backgrounds have better access to resources like education, healthcare, and capital, money for investment. For instance, children from rich families can afford private schooling, which helps them secure better jobs. In contrast, children from poor families may not have access to good education, which limits their opportunities and income. 3. Discrimination. In India, caste, gender, and regional differences can lead to income inequality. For example, people from lower castes or marginalized groups may face discrimination in education, jobs, and social opportunities, which leads to lower incomes. Women, too, often earn less than men for similar work due to gender inequality. 4. Land ownership and agriculture. In rural areas, many people depend on agriculture for their livelihood. However, wealthier families often own large pieces of land, while poorer families have very little or no land. As a result, landowners earn more income from their crops, while landless farmers struggle to make ends meet. For example, in states like Punjab, large landowners have a high income, while small farmers remain poor. 5. Economic policies. Sometimes, government policies can unintentionally increase inequality. For example, certain policies may favor big industries or wealthy individuals, giving them more opportunities to grow their wealth. On the other hand, poor people may not benefit equally from these policies. In conclusion, income and wealth inequality in India is caused by factors such as differences in education, access to resources, discrimination, land ownership, and government policies. Addressing these issues is important to reduce inequality and ensure fairer opportunities for everyone. Next important question is 5. Critically examine the Industrial Policy Resolution, 1991, Unit 6. Industrial Policy Resolution, 1991. The Industrial Policy Resolution of 1991 was a significant turning point in India's economic history. Before 1991, India's economy was largely controlled by the government, with heavy regulations, limited foreign trade, and state-run industries. However, after the 1991 economic crisis, India faced a financial emergency and needed urgent reforms to improve the economy. The Industrial Policy of 1991 was introduced to modernize the Indian economy, promote private sector growth, and integrate India with the global market. Let's look at its key features and critically examine them. Key features of the Industrial Policy 1991. 1. Liberalization of the economy. One of the most important changes was reducing government control over industries. Before 1991, many industries were reserved for public sector enterprises. The policy allowed more industries to be run by private companies. For example, sectors like telecommunications and airlines were opened to private companies after 1991. 2. Privatization. The policy encouraged privatization, meaning the government sold some of its state-owned companies to private players. This aimed to improve efficiency and reduce the government's financial burden. For instance, the government privatized companies like Air India to improve service quality. 3. Foreign direct investment, FDI. The policy allowed foreign companies to invest in India. This brought in new technologies, capital, and global business practices. Companies like Coca-Cola and McDonald's were able to enter the Indian market, providing jobs and boosting the economy. 4. Reduction in licensing requirements. Before 1991, businesses needed government licenses to start or expand industries. The policy reduced these licensing requirements, making it easier for entrepreneurs to start businesses. This opened the door for more innovation and competition in the market. Critical examination. 1. Positive impact. The 1991 policy helped India grow faster. It encouraged competition, improved efficiency, and created more job opportunities. The entry of foreign companies brought advanced technology and increased consumer choices. 2. Challenges. Despite these improvements, the benefits were not evenly spread. Many small and medium-sized industries struggled to compete with large private and foreign firms. Additionally, while privatization led to better services in some sectors, it also caused job losses in government-run industries. 3. Social inequality. The policy favored large businesses and urban areas, leading to more inequality. Rural areas and low-income people often did not benefit as much from these reforms. In conclusion, while the Industrial Policy Resolution of 1991 brought significant changes that helped modernize India's economy, it also led to challenges like inequality and displacement for smaller industries. It was a step towards making India more competitive in the global market but required more balanced reforms to ensure that all sections of society benefited. Next important question is 6. Causes of population explosion, Unit 2. Causes of population explosion. Population explosion refers to the rapid increase in the number of people in a region or country. In India, this problem has become quite serious over the years. Let's look at the main causes of population explosion in simple terms. 1. High birth rate. One of the main reasons for population growth in India is the high birth rate. Many families have more children because of cultural beliefs and traditions that encourage larger families. For example, in rural areas, having more children is seen as beneficial for working on farms and securing the family's future. 2. Decline in mortality rate. Advances in healthcare, medicine, and sanitation have led to a decline in death rates. People are living longer, and infant mortality has decreased due to better vaccinations and medical treatments. For example, the spread of vaccination programs has reduced the number of deaths from diseases like polio and measles. 3. Lack of awareness about family planning. In some parts of India, people are not well informed about family planning methods like contraception. This lack of awareness leads to higher birth rates, as families may not know how to control the number of children they have. Many rural areas still have limited access to family planning services or education. 4. Cultural and religious factors. In India, There are cultural and religious beliefs that favor having larger families. Some people believe that more children are a blessing or that sons are more important for the family's future. This mindset leads to families having more children than they might have planned. 5. Early marriage and childbearing. In some parts of India, early marriage is common, especially in rural areas. When women marry at a young age, they have more time to bear children, leading to higher birth rates. Early childbearing is often seen as a tradition, which further contributes to the population increase. 6. Improvement in agricultural practices. Better agricultural practices have led to more food availability, which has reduced the death rate. As food supply increases, families are able to support more children, leading to a higher population growth. Conclusion. In conclusion, India's population explosion is caused by high birth rates, better healthcare, lack of family planning awareness, cultural factors, early marriage, and improved agricultural practices. Addressing these issues through education, awareness, and better healthcare can help control population growth in the future. Next important question is 7. Theory of Demographic Transition, Unit 2. Theory of Demographic Transition. The theory of demographic transition explains how a country's population changes over time as it develops economically and socially. It is based on the idea that population growth follows a predictable pattern as a society moves from a traditional, agricultural economy to a modern, industrial one. The theory has 4 stages, and let's explain them in simple terms. 1. Stage 1. High birth rate and high death rate. In this stage, both the birth rate, the number of babies born, and the death rate, the number of people dying, are high. The population remains small and stable because any increase in births is balanced by a high number of deaths. This stage is common in traditional societies, where healthcare is limited and living conditions are harsh. An example would be rural India in the past, where life expectancy was low and diseases were common. 2. Stage 2. High birth rate and declining death rate. As a society develops, healthcare improves, and people begin to live longer. In this stage, the death rate begins to fall due to better sanitation, medicine, and nutrition, but the birth rate remains high. This causes a rapid increase in population. Many developing countries, including India, experienced this stage after independence when public health programs began improving, but the birth rate remained high due to cultural and social factors. 3. Stage 3. Declining birth rate and low death rate. In this stage, both the birth rate and death rate start to fall. The population continues to grow, but at a slower rate. The decline in birth rate is often due to improved family planning, education, and women's empowerment. In India, cities like Delhi and Mumbai are examples of areas where birth rates have started to decrease as people become more aware of family planning and women gain more access to education and work. 4. Stage 4. Low birth rate and low death rate. In the final stage, both birth and death rates are low and the population stabilizes. People have fewer children and life expectancy is high due to advanced healthcare and a good standard of living. Countries like Japan and many European nations are in this stage today. India, in some urban areas, is moving towards this stage, though rural areas are still in the earlier stages. Conclusion. In summary, the theory of demographic transition shows how a country's population changes as it develops economically. In the beginning, both birth and death rates are high, but as the country modernizes, the death rate falls first, followed by a decline in the birth rate, leading to slower population growth. Next important question is 8. Unemployment in India causes. Unit 3. Unemployment in India causes. Unemployment is a major issue in India, where millions of people are looking for jobs but are unable to find work. There are several reasons behind this problem, which we will discuss in simple words. 1. Population growth. India's population is growing very fast. With more people, there is a higher demand for jobs, but the number of job opportunities is not increasing at the same rate. For example, in urban areas like Delhi and Mumbai, many young people graduate from college, but there are not enough jobs for everyone, leading to high unemployment. 2. Lack of skills and education. Many people in India lack the necessary skills or education required for modern jobs. While the country has many graduates, they may not have the specific skills needed in industries like technology, healthcare, or manufacturing. For instance, a person with a degree in arts may find it difficult to get a job in a technology-driven company if they don't have technical skills. 3. Overdependence on agriculture. In India, a large number of people still depend on agriculture for their livelihood. However, farming doesn't provide enough stable jobs, especially in rural areas. The agricultural sector often faces issues like poor crop yields, lack of irrigation, and seasonal work, leading to underemployment or unemployment. For example, during the off-season, many farmers are unemployed or earn less. 4. Slow economic growth. In times of slow economic growth, companies find it difficult to expand and hire more people. If the economy is not growing fast enough, there aren't enough job openings in various sectors. In India, when industries or businesses don't grow as expected, job creation slows down, leading to higher unemployment. 5. Outdated education system. The education system in India is not always aligned with the needs of the job market. Many schools and colleges do not teach practical skills or provide training in areas where there are job opportunities. As a result, young people often graduate without being ready for the workforce. 6. Underemployment. Even when people are employed, many of them work in jobs that do not fully use their skills or education. This is known as underemployment. For example, a person with a degree in engineering may work as a driver or in a low-skilled job because they cannot find a job in their field. Conclusion. Unemployment in India is caused by factors like rapid population growth, lack of skills, overdependence on agriculture, slow economic growth, outdated education systems, and underemployment. Addressing these issues through better education, skill development, and job creation can help reduce unemployment in the future. Next important question is 9. Small-scale industries, problems, Unit 6. Small-scale industries, problems. Small-scale industries, SSIs, play an important role in India's economy by providing employment and producing goods. However, these industries face many challenges that make it difficult for them to grow and succeed. Let's explore some of these problems in simple words. 1. Limited access to finance. One of the biggest challenges for small-scale industries is the lack of financial support. Banks and financial institutions often hesitate to provide loans to small businesses because they see them as risky. For example, a small garment manufacturer may struggle to get a loan to expand their business or buy new equipment, limiting their growth. 2. Lack of modern technology. Small-scale industries often cannot afford the latest technology or machinery. As a result, their production processes are slower and less efficient compared to large industries. For instance, small paper mills may still use old machinery, which reduces their productivity and makes it harder for them to compete with larger mills that use advanced technology. 3. Inadequate infrastructure. Many small industries are located in areas with poor infrastructure, such as inadequate roads, electricity, and water supply. This affects their ability to operate smoothly. For example, a small food processing unit in a rural area may face power cuts, which can spoil perishable goods and lead to financial losses. 4. Competition from large industries. Small-scale industries often struggle to compete with large companies that have more resources, better technology, and wider reach. Large industries can produce goods at a lower cost and sell them at cheaper prices, making it hard for small industries to attract customers. For example, small local textile units cannot compete with big brands that dominate the market. 5. Poor marketing and sales. Small businesses often lack the skills and resources to promote their products effectively. Without proper marketing strategies, it is difficult for them to reach a large audience. For example, a small handicraft maker may not have the funds to advertise their products, resulting in low sales. 6. Labor issues. Small-scale industries often face problems related to labor, such as high turnover rates and lack of skilled workers. It can be difficult for small businesses to train workers or retain them for long periods due to limited resources. Conclusion. Small-scale industries in India face various problems like limited access to finance, outdated technology, poor infrastructure, tough competition, and marketing challenges. Addressing these issues through better financial support, skill development, and government policies can help these industries thrive and contribute more to India's economy. Next important question is: 10. Briefly explain the development and welfare programs of the Government of Telangana. Development and welfare programs of the Government of Telangana. The Government of Telangana, which was formed in 2014, has introduced several development and welfare programs to improve the lives of its people. These programs aim to provide better living standards, create job opportunities, and support the poor and marginalized sections of society. Let's take a look at some key programs. 1. Raitu Bandhu Scheme. The Raitu Bandhu scheme is a welfare program designed to support farmers. Under this scheme, the government provides financial assistance to farmers before the sowing season to help them purchase seeds, fertilizers, and other farming inputs. For example, each farmer receives a certain amount of money per acre of land to support their farming activities. This scheme aims to reduce farmers' debt and improve agricultural productivity. 2. Kaleshwaram Lift Irrigation Project. To ensure a steady supply of water for irrigation, the government has implemented the Kaleshwaram Lift Irrigation Project. This large-scale project aims to supply water to drought-prone areas of Telangana, benefiting farmers by ensuring that crops get sufficient water, especially during dry seasons. The project is expected to improve agricultural yields and water availability in the state. 3. Mission Bhagirtha. The Mission Bhagirtha program aims to provide safe drinking water to every household in Telangana. The government is working on building a vast network of pipelines to deliver treated water to rural and urban areas. This ensures that people no longer have to depend on unsafe water sources, improving public health. 4. Shadi Mubarak and Kalyani Lakshmi schemes. These welfare programs are aimed at supporting economically weaker families. Under Shadi Mubarak, the government provides financial assistance for the marriage of girls from poor families. Similarly, Kalyani Lakshmi offers financial help to girls to promote education and delay early marriages. These programs help in improving the social and economic status of women in Telangana. 5. TSI Pass, Telangana State Industrial Project Approval and Self-Certification System. TSI Pass is an initiative to promote industrial growth in the state. It simplifies the process of setting up new industries by reducing bureaucratic delays. This helps create more job opportunities and boosts economic growth by attracting more industries to Telangana. Conclusion. Telangana's government has launched several programs like Raitu Bandhu, Mission Bhagirtha, and Shadi Mubarak to support farmers, provide clean water, improve the welfare of women, and promote industrial growth. These programs aim to create a better quality of life for the people of Telangana, especially in rural areas. I hope you understand easily each question. All the best, students, for your upcoming exam. For other subject quick revision. Important questions. Previous question papers. And syllabus. Links are available in description. Check out once. Thank you for watching. Like and share this video with your friends.